Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold, this is Psycho Gold Videos. Today we're going to be checking out the recently released Captain Marvel trailer. It came out whilst I was asleep, as they always do. But I've heard some good things about it. My cousin was raving about it on Twitter, and he is as big a Marvel fan as I am, so I'm curious to see what this trailer has in store. Because I saw people raving about it on Twitter, I know that it opens with that shot of her punching the old granny, so I have a funny feeling that this trailer is going to try and fix the fact that so many people thought that that was real, and demonstrate that that is in fact a Skrull. So I'm not going to do any introductions, let's just find out what's in this trailer. 3, 2, 1, go. Dun dun dun.
So, Skrulls are the bad guys.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Surprising absolutely no one.
And you're a Kree, a race of noble warriors.
Heroes. Noble warrior heroes.
No, she isn't. She's human. But she's obviously been brainwashed into thinking she's a Kree.
Your life began the day it nearly ended.
Plus,
We found you.
the Kree aren't exactly what I'd call heroes. Propaganda!
So you could live longer, stronger, superior.
Ah, yeah, that's almost her normal suit. That's cool.
I keep having these memories.
Of your life on Earth.
Something in my past is the key to all of this.
It's still freaking me out seeing Samuel Jackson like that. Like how he used to be.
That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
That looked like a Quinjet.
Would you like to know
Ah, she has one of those helmets.
what you really are?
Okay,
I had a life here.
Skrulls look like Skrulls.
What aren't you telling me?
Oh, hello.
Long way. But you're not as strong as you think.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
This war.
So is he a good guy or a bad guy?
I'm not gonna fight your war. I'm gonna end it.
Damn, she's so shiny. Okay. That's impressive. I like that shot at the end with her flying through space.
Aren't you the cutest little thing? Aren't you cute? And what's your name, huh?
Fury.
What's cute? I'll be back.
Okay then. Right, so there were a couple of details in that trailer that I saw, and I might have to go back. I'm going to watch the trailer again on my own, and I might pause it at a couple of bits to see whether or not I'm going mad, or whether I did see some things there that I think I want to talk about in a second. So, I'll see you guys in just a moment. So, I've watched it again, and I didn't miss anything. I tried to pause it on the part where we see the cat's name tag because I was trying to work out if that cat was Chewie, but it really doesn't look like it. If anything, I think the only thing I can kind of see that name tag possibly saying is Goose, which I remember people saying a while back that one of the posters had something along those lines, but I didn't really pay much attention to the poster. So maybe it's just a reference and that's it. There's nothing more specific about it than or of course maybe the film has changed the name of the cat from Chewie to Goose. But I don't see why they'd need to, considering that Disney owns both Marvel and Star Wars, so it's not like they'd have to worry about using the name. Either way, if it's an Earth cat or if it's an alien Felker? Can't remember what they're called now. But if it's an alien or not, it doesn't really matter. I think the scene of Samuel Jackson's Fury stopping to find how cute the cat is still amusing regardless. Of course, if it turns out later on in the film that that cat can actually wreck half of Fury's agents without any issue, it would actually be quite comical as well. The other bit I paused it on was when a load of guys come into what looks like a hangar. They're all armed to the teeth, and I thought for a second it was Coulson hiding behind all of the people. It's not. But it looks almost like the actor who played Director Krennic in Rogue One. Now, I don't know if he's in this film or not. Maybe someone will say, well, yeah, it's him. And I'll be like, ah, well, alright then. But if it is him, I didn't know he was in the film, and if it's not him, then in that, like, one frame I've got to look at, he's a pretty good lookalike. But maybe he looks nothing like him if I actually saw him in a decent, high-quality picture that's not moving. But, yeah, those were the two bits that I was like, wait a minute, are there some details there hiding that I've not picked up on? Because I'm not the greatest Captain Marvel fan, at least of Carol Danvers. I really do like Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, but I mostly know about her from video games. I've never really read that many Captain Marvel books. I've read some, and I've borrowed some, so, you know, I have read enough to know about her character, but I've not read enough to probably pick up on every single detail like I would in some of the other Marvel films that they've done. Like when they did Iron Man, I was a huge Iron Man fan before Iron Man was like the biggest franchise Marvel had. Which you can thank the 90s animated series for. They had a lot to answer for, those 90s animated series. However, as for her getting her powers from the Kree and being rescued from the crash, I actually think this trailer is the first time I've actually felt like this character is the Captain Marvel that I remember from books and games alike. I'm happy that it looks like her origin story is intact, and I find it interesting that she thinks of herself as a Kree, but I'm now wondering, does she know that she's not a Kree? Because it sounds like that they've told her this, but then that's the problem with trailers, you never know what order they're in. That might come at the end of the film, you know, and that might be the big reveal, that she doesn't know that she's not a Kree, and, you know, she doesn't know that she doesn't have her memories because they've programmed different memories into her and they gave her these powers. Because from memory, I don't believe that other Kree have the powers that Captain Marvel has. Like, they experimented on her to make her into their super soldier, basically. And the Kree are no better than the Skrulls, historically speaking, from a point of view of who the bad guys are. I mean, I distinctly remember in some storylines they had to team up with the Skrulls to fight the Kree, but then they've also teamed up with the Kree to fight the Skrulls, so it's all swings and roundabouts, really. But I do think that the Kree in general seem to be represented as more of a good guys now. There seem to be a lot of Marvel characters that like the Kree. Like, I know that the X-Men obviously have a big history with the Kree, and you know, they've allied with the Kree on several different occasions. And you've got the Shi'ar Empire and all that jazz, and all these wonderful different space races that have never really been explored in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But now that they own Fox, I've no doubt that we're going to start seeing the space races come in to play more as the films develop, because obviously that means that we'll be able to have Silver Surfer and Galactus back on the table. Now, we haven't really ever had Galactus in film form. Yes, I know that there is that abomination of a film out there that tried to have Galactus, and it was just a giant shadow. That was not Galactus. But with Captain Marvel basically being not our introduction to the Marvel sci-fi side, because obviously we've had 2 Guardians of the Galaxy films, but Captain Marvel is probably I think still counts as the first introduction as far as superheroes go, because the Guardians of the Galaxy, whilst they are heroes, it's not like Thor in space, which was basically Thor Ragnarok, thinking about it. You know what I'm trying to say, like, they're just regular people, for want of a better phrase, living in the galaxy, and that's half the appeal and their charm, is that they're able to do all these things when, in reality, whilst they're not average, they're not really superheroes either. Especially people like Star-Lord, and, you know, Star-Lord is essentially just a guy with a couple of guns and some rocket boots, which is, you know, again, half of his appeal. He's, pretty powerful with all of his various gadgets, etc., and then he leads this motley crew. Whereas Captain Marvel is more of a hero, in inverted commas. She has all these big, over-the-top superpowers, and as she said at the end, "I'm not gonna fight your war, I'm gonna end it." And I was like, oh, okay. And then we saw that shot of her flying through space, you know, wrecking everything that so much as dares move in her general direction, and it's like, yep, that's pretty much what I expect from someone of Captain Marvel's power level. I'm very interested to know what Jude Law has to do in this, though. It looks like he's playing another member of the Kree Star Force, is it? But he doesn't have blue skin, which is interesting, because most Kree have blue skin, but he does have weird-looking alien eyes, so is he another race, or is he some kind of different kind of Kree? The other thing I'm curious about is that scroll that we see is he just a regular Skrull? Like, are they just regular Skrulls? Or is that Skrull Super Skrull? Because whenever I picture Super Skrull in my head, that clothing that he's wearing is kind of what I think of. Now, that might just be a coincidence and they might all wear the same kind of uniform in the film, but there is a part of me, a little part of me, that's hoping that that's actually not just a regular Skrull, like a Skrull General or something, that the Skrull might actually have one of their own superpowered beings, because obviously any issues with that being a Super Skrull isn't going to be an issue anymore, because again, Marvel owned Fox. Now obviously I know that Captain Marvel was filmed before Marvel owned Fox, but you know, there's ways to you know, add in a couple of lines of dialogue here and there with ADR, or do a quick reshoot as studios do so love to do, and you know, we can explain why this Skrull has superpowers in a way that is lore friendly instead of whatever they might have given originally. Or they could have him be a prototype so that he is kind of just similar to the Super Skrull of the comic books, but isn't the Super Skrull of comic books, considering he is basically Fantastic Four rolled into one being. I also thought I saw Ronan the Accuser sitting on a bridge, which obviously makes complete sense because he is a Kree at the end of the day, which again leads me back to the Kree aren't exactly good guys. So I'm wondering if we're actually going to see Ronan the Accuser in a more what's the word I'm thinking of? Not so much to be a good guy, but is he actually going to be like on the side of the good guys, and he's actually going to be like fighting the Skrulls left, right, and center, and we're going to see him from a different angle, which might change our opinion of him. Be like, oh damn it, why did he have to become a bad guy? You know, because he obviously just wanted to carry on fighting their ancient enemies, the Skrulls. What are the people called on the Xandarians? Is it the Xandar? Whoever it is that the Nova Corps was before Thanos turned up, which annoys me as well, because as much as I'm enjoying the fact that Captain Marvel is kind of our big introduction to space superheroes, I really thought that we were going to get Nova and the Nova Corps, considering that Nova is stupidly powerful as well. Imagine if we had Nova and Captain Marvel flying around out there. I mean, come on, we'd be alright. I think the effects for Captain Marvel look really good as well, and I know that's probably a weird thing to say considering how good Marvel films tend to be, but Captain Marvel is kind of a difficult one to pull off, trying to get her to be all sparkly and glowy and fire energy beams from her hands like the way that they've done, but without it just looking like, you know, several other characters that can fire energy beams from their hands, their hammers, their whatever it is, you know? We've had Doctor Strange, we've had Thor, we've got Iron Man, we've got the Scarlet Witch, we've got all these different characters, and they've all got distinct ways of using their abilities that don't make them all feel like they're just exactly the same at their core. And I think Captain Marvel, whoever it is that's done the effects, has done a great job of making her look very distinct from the rest of her peers. And obviously, because this film is set in the 1990s, it's not like she's got to worry about meeting any of the other people, so this will be the first this will be the most standalone superhero film we've probably had in a long time, which is also quite amusing because it's standalone that they've decided to bring back in S.H.I.E.L.D., Fury, and Coulson. But that's absolutely fine with me. I think that's absolutely a fantastic idea. Seeing, you know, Fury and Coulson back is going to be great. But I think that's going to be about it for me, guys. It looks like a great trailer. Of course, I'm going to go see it in the cinema. I imagine a lot of people are. I mean, it does look really fun, and it looks like it's going to be really entertaining. Will it be Marvel's version of Wonder Woman? Don't know. Wonder Woman's going to be really hard to beat, and I really don't think that Marvel needs its own version of Wonder Woman. I just think if you make a good film, not worrying about whether or not it's going to be the Marvel version of Wonder Woman. Overall, I can't wait for it, and I think it's going to be a really good time. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, drop comments down below letting me know what you thought of it. And as always, dudes, I'll be sat here waiting for something else to react to in the form of a trailer. I've actually got my eye on a couple of things on the YouTubes to react to, but I don't think there's many film trailers that I'm fussed about coming out anytime soon. But if anything changes, I'm sure you'll be notified as soon as I go live, provided you've rung that bell. Anyway guys, that's it from me. So as always, my name is Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.